Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you for being here. Good evening. We are, today is June 8th. It is currently 7:10, and we are here for our Colmar Manor Town Meeting. Is there a motion for us to approve the town meeting? Open up the town meeting?
Councilmember Harder will make the motion as stated.
Is there a second?
Councilmember Bowles, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this meeting is now in order. Thank you all for being here. We'll start by, let's start by a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we can have a moment of silence. Thank those and those who lost family members. Let's just have a moment. Thank you. Now, can we have a moment of silence for us to rejoice in things that we enjoy in life, our families, our friends, and things that we have? Let's take a moment, smile, and really appreciate what we have in our lives. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that was helpful to me. So I'll just let you guys know that we are testing our new cameras for the first time. And so we should be getting zoomed out. I probably should log in just so I know what it looks like. Are you logged in? Huh? You can see us?
I can see you clearly.
Okay,
Oh, good.
improvement. And hopefully next meeting we can actually get back on TV, on cable.
Yes.
Awesome. Woo-hoo. Ms. Mutchler will be much pleased. So, moving along, to report on the work session, I am like confusing myself here, looking for it. Does anybody by any chance have the agenda from the work session handy? I got so much stuff here. Hmm. No. Thank you. Okay, so we had a work session on June 1st, Tuesday, June 1st, at 7 o'clock. And that work session, we discussed the county and the state's orders to open up for COVID-19. There are different openings and capacity issues in our reopening of the building. And that discussion was mostly around the idea of us maintaining vaccination if whenever possible, and requesting masks whenever not, minimizing the capacity in the building until further notice. And we had a continued conversation about our budget. We did not talk about, on our conversation about the budget, Mr. Baden was able to tell us what the estimates might be in terms of our lost revenue that we could use from the American Relief Rescue Act. And we tabled the sound ordinance to discuss at a later meeting, which was held on Friday. We talked about the American Relief preliminary allocations with stormwater, housing assistance, potentially the fire department. And we also talked about potentially summer camp, which we decided that we would go try to find out, assess the public on what the needs were before making any decisions on that. We had a conversation about plans for Juneteenth, which is June 16th. We spoke about the gun violence prevention program that the state's attorney, June is Gun Violence Prevention Month. And the state's attorney has a major kickoff that they're working on that. And we had a conversation about that. There was an ask of $1,000 from the state's attorney's office to the municipalities. And I discussed meetings that I had with other colleagues from other towns who had also had this conversation with the state's attorney's office, and the request that we've made from the state's attorney's office is to have a better understanding of what it is that they would like this funding for in a more direct before making any decisions on that. We agreed to a proclamation provided to us by Prince George's County moms demand action for gun sense in America. And that proclamation, including making June 4th a Gun Violence Awareness Day for Colmar Manor, and we voted on that proclamation. We had a conversation about surplus vehicles, and in this conversation, there was a vote taken to surplus the vehicles that were old and outdated and to send them to auction. And then we talked about a proclamation for Lewis and Blue, which we would bring forth till today. We talked about End Time Harvest Ministries wanting to do a summer camp here in the building for with Joe's Movement Emporium for a few days. Subsequently, we scheduled another meeting on June 4th at 5 o'clock in order to further discuss the sound ordinance and to discuss the budget. On that meeting on June 4th, there was an addition to the agenda for the surplus vehicles in which they were determined to be donated to our local nonprofits, if possible, as opposed to going to auction. And we had further conversation about the sound ordinance, and we had further conversation about our budget and to go through what our final numbers would be. And that's it. So that's our report on what happened. All right, moving on to, is there anything I missed, council, that as far as you recalling from our meetings last week? Okay, so I'm going to go around and we can have council report. Ward 1.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So I don't have much to report on. As we all know, music has been a problem inside the neighborhood, but Ward 1 is now starting to have more problems with music after the allotted hours. So we're looking to get this sound ordinance in order so that we got some teeth, of course. It's also been requested that we stay on top of the snacks near the gardens because that is the safest meal that some people get in the neighborhood sometimes. This came from our former council member, Ms. Blue, because she witnessed one of the homeless members inside the community eating out of the trash can. And it was something, we sat down and really spoke on it, that we are getting a gradual or a growing number of homeless members inside the community. It's not for us to take on the role to provide food all the time, but to at least have the option there, because that was a very heart aching moment for both of us to really sit down and talk about. And lastly, a resident in the first ward was offering the lawn care services from their business. And I said that I would bring it up to the table just to, be heard. But yeah, I feel like that'd be a good opportunity just to reach out. I don't think we have to necessarily create but to give the opportunity to hear out, that would be good. But that's my report.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ward 2.
So hello, everyone. So my report is the following. I would like to encourage residents to participate in various committees that we have in town, such committees as Green Team Committee, Garden Club Committee, Neighborhood Watch Committee, and Recreation Committee. These committees work for the betterment of the town and help raise and alleviate certain issues of concerns of the residents. And together with the town staff, I'm working on creating and distributing the survey to the residents, asking to specify their interests in various areas. Please look out for the survey soon, and please take your time and complete it and join the committees of choice. Participate in town matters important to you. Number 2, I met with the Garden Club President, Doretha Apps. Upon establishing the interest from residents in joining the Green Team, we plan to restart the Green Team meetings. The Green Team has not met in person until May during the joint meeting with the Cottage City Green Team. Together with Doretha Apps, we plan on holding a Green Team meeting on June 21st and on every third Monday of the month going forward. Next issue, I received residents complain about the noise, loud music. Would like to remind residents that the council will be passing a new noise ordinance soon. So please look out for the explanation on the noise ordinance soon. And finally, met with the resident. Resident would like to extend the vote to all citizens, to voting and to residents and non-residents in the town, and will be sending more information to me. And hopefully I can update everyone during the next July meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ward 3, Councilmember Bowles.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, I'd like to express gratitude for the members of my ward that stop me on the street. And even if it's just to say hello, good morning. Sometimes it's really nice to hear just hello, good morning, because sometimes we have things to talk about that are less pleasant. So it's really nice to just sort of be together. And in that vein, I would like to point out that I've had a couple of citizens asking when we'll have in-person meetings again here in the hall. Some were asking about tonight, and I said I didn't think we were quite ready, but just to know that the energy's out there for vaccinated individuals to have in-person meetings. The poop and the trash is getting better and better. We seem to sort of lurch forward and fall back. Don't forget, Chief's got those signs up. We're having a trash-free revolution in Colmar Manor. We have a scoop that poop revolution going on in Colmar Manor. Keep up the good work and work even a little bit harder. For those of you, some of you are still walking your dogs off lead in town. Please be mindful that you have to have your dog on a leash in the municipality, even if it's the sweetest dog in the world. And we all think our dogs are the sweetest dog in the world. I would like to say a special word of thanks for the support from the council. We're going to be talking about this in a little bit, but Colmar Manor will be having its first Pride event on Thursday. The mayor and council have been incredibly supportive. You may even hear one of our council members warbling a little bit of music on Thursday. I can't wait to hear that. So please, if you're available at noon on Thursday, that's the day after tomorrow, we'll be having a celebration here outside of Town Hall at noon with a raising of the flag. Mayor and council and as well as visiting guests and elected officials will be here to help us celebrate. And there will be some snacks too. So come in and enjoy some fellowship with us in celebration of all of us, but in that day, particularly the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and others among us. And also don't forget that and Mayor, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I want to encourage June 19th this year, we're having a celebration of Juneteenth, and there will be Monica Casañas will be hosting a full day at our bazaar. So please come out and celebrate our local and visiting small businesses. And that's where I'm going to leave it because we have a lot to do.
Indeed. Thank you so much for that, though. Ward 4, Councilmember Mendoza.
Good evening, everyone. Councilmember Bowles said many things, and I second everything that he said. And Colmar Manor it's going to be busy this June, and we have to put out that we still want to get vaccinated, but definitely get registered, and let's get those shots in, and slow down, in Colmar Manor. And happy summer to all. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's been quite a month, indeed. I want to, one really important thing is speed bumps have gone in on
Mhm.
41st Avenue. And I definitely feel like there's some improvement there, and have heard from the residents as well that they feel like that's been improved, that area. And I want to encourage everybody always. I've had a conversation with one of our residents who was interested in a Hispanic Awareness Committee. And I encourage everyone, if there is something of interest to you, we are a very culturally diverse community. And therefore, it's important for us to figure out how do we best embrace those who have different things in their personal culture that their government needs to support or find a way to at least bring to light. Because quite frankly, you don't really know what you don't know.
Mhm.
And so when you bring forward whatever your stories are, and you want to set up and do, have a group, let us know how we can support you in that group. We do want the residents to take ownership of any of these kind of groups, but we are here as a government to support those things. And so I encourage it. Let us know. I'm betting there's someone else out there that wants to do what you're wanting to do, or be involved in the way you want to be involved. I remember years ago, and I want to just mention most famously, our garden club did not start from this government at all. The garden club was a group of people in town who wanted to beautify the town. And they came together to work together to be a garden club. It happened that Kaiser Permanente, which was a very big part of our lives then, had funds that could help us. And they were interested in us growing food, not just beautification. Latched on to our garden club. We were one of the first ones having a garden club in the area. Now everybody has a garden club. And now we have an awesome, wonderful relationship to gardens, and that birthed right out of the community and not out of the government. So that's why I want to make sure everybody knows that your voices should be heard. I want to thank Councilmember Hobbs and Councilmember Bowles for being able to attend the Memorial Day event over at Peace Cross. I'm sorry I missed it. One of the few years I ever have. It's a really important event, and I'm glad that we could be represented. So we don't always all have to be everywhere, because we're representing each other when we're anywhere.
And Mayor Councilmember Mendoza was also.
Oh,
there.
yeah, I'm sorry, Councilmember Mendoza. You know what? I keep forgetting because she took a picture and sent it, and she's not in the picture.
And her adorable child.
Indeed, yes. And thank you, Councilmember,
Running
Mendoza, all
around
of you guys.
everywhere.
I really appreciate that, and all of our soldiers and who have served for us and have given their biggest possible thing they possibly could give for us. Yes, Juneteenth. I'm so excited. Miss Monica, resident, I'm gonna mess up her name, but Casares,
Casanas.
is hosting our bazaar on the 19th, which is Juneteenth, which is officially a holiday here in the town of Colmar Manor. And so she's putting together some nice things. We're trying to, this is exactly how partnerships work. We should have some music, hopefully some art. We are looking for more vendors. So if someone wants to be a vendor, the information, you can go on our Facebook page and pull up the information on it. If you're a resident, check your email, because we have sent you emails on it for signing up. And so we're looking to have people out to just come out and have a good time. For using our space next to the KFC, this is a great opportunity for us to come out and do that. And also, please, for our first Pride flag raising, I would love to see our residents available here for that as well. I mean, I'm really excited. This is the first time, takes time, and I'm so excited when, again, we bring folks from our community, bring forward things that we can do to help and in whatever that is that needs to be helped with. So in saying that, let's eliminate as much hate as possible in this world. Let's find ways to work together, find ways to make each other better and not pull each other down. And I'm looking forward to us moving forward with that kind of thought process. Yes. All right. That's my report. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Mr. Baden will likely join us towards the end of this, so we'll let that hold until then. And when he gets back, and he had another meeting that he has to attend to. So we'll move on to the chief's report.
Apologize. I'm juggling a couple things tonight, hoping that the video, the audio and all that works. It seems like our video is doing very well.
Good.
When it comes to citizen comment time, the audio is going to be a challenge, but we're going to get through that. For the police report for the month of May 2021, there were 94 calls for service in the town of Colmar Manor. To highlight a couple, there are 2 armed person calls listed on here. In both of those cases, nothing was found. There's one incident.
Your mic.
I'm a soft-spoken guy.
Start over again.
No way.
Take a deep breath.
For the month of May 2021, 94 calls for service in the town of Colmar Manor. Just will highlight a couple. There was 2 calls for armed persons. In both of those cases, nothing was found. Further on, I'll talk about a gunfire incident, but these 2 calls were not related to that. There's kind of if you're looking at the report, which is available online, there's an incident called Department Accident PD Combined. It just kind of looks like a mystery call, so I thought I'd explain it. That's a departmental accident, which is an accident involving a police car. Occurred on Bladensburg Road. It did not involve us, fortunately. And there was one actual call for loud music in the town during the month of May. I understand that in June, I think we've had a number of graduations, and that number increased significantly over the past weekend, but we'll get into that one in the next report. For the actual police reports in the town of Manor for the month of June, I'll highlight each one of those real quickly. On May 4th, we had a missing person report in the 3400 block of 43rd Avenue. That was an elderly gentleman who left the home, and it was of great concern. We kind of started a search, and fortunately, within an hour or so, he was located unharmed in Washington, D.C. and returned back home. We had a vandalism on the 7th in the Port Town Shopping Center. A window was broken in a vehicle. Same day, same time, a theft from auto at the same location, the window broken and property stolen from inside the vehicle. Had a stolen vehicle in the 3700 block of Monroe Street on May 10th. That vehicle was recovered unoccupied a couple days later in Washington, D.C. On the 11th, a theft from auto, Port Town Shopping Center. On the 14th, theft from auto, Port Town Shopping Center. On the 21st, we had multiple reports of gunfire at 41st and Newton Street. Shell casings were recovered at the scene, indicating that there was actual gunfire. We had no reports of damage or injuries, and no one claimed to have been shot at. That's still under investigation. We've determined that a white convertible with a black top was most likely involved in that. If anyone has any information, please give us a call. 24th, another theft from auto, Port Town Shopping Center. On the 26th, a vandalism auto in the 4300 block of Newark Road. Person reported that their tire was cut with a knife. We had on the 26th, property damage in the 3600 block of 41st Avenue. Damage to a fence caused by a neighbor And in that case, a peace order and criminal charges were advised. Vandalism reported that same evening at the Taco Bell. Person tried to go through the drive-through on a bicycle. They were refused service and they got upset and hit the window and damaged it. And they went to McDonald's and became a bit disorderly and then left the area. That initially went out as it's one of those where it was reported that a weapon was involved, but there was no weapon displayed or threat of a weapon, anything like that. Another theft from auto in the Port Town Shopping Center on the 27th, and finally a recovered stolen vehicle on the 27th. That happened to be at the Port Town Shopping Center. We had a number of theft from autos at the Port Town Shopping Center, and all of those are items left in plain view and somebody breaking the window and taking whatever it may be. I know a couple, there was a phone stolen, a computer stolen, and sometimes they just take a bag that one of them had a gym clothes or something in it. So that you really got to not leave stuff in or not leave it in plain view. We had one reportable traffic accident in the town during the month. That was near the entrance to the McDonald's. Both vehicles had to be towed and minor injury was reported. For traffic enforcement, we had 13 traffic stops and 39 violation notices were issued. Neighborhood Watch, we met via Zoom on the 27th, and we didn't have a specific topic. It was kind of an open discussion. And the next, we'll get out details on the June meeting, which will be the last Thursday in June. That may be outside. I'll get with the coordinators and we'll get that out. For our parking enforcement, we have increased enforcement of the most common violations, general violations, your yellow curbs, your park the wrong way, blocking sidewalk, etc. The governor had issued I guess an extension for registrations. Because of COVID, MVA was closed and it kind of gave a blanket extension. That extension expires at the end of this month, June 30th. So everybody needs to get all those registration tabs taken care of and get their registrations in order, because beginning July 1, we will begin more strict enforcement on the registration and also those parking permits. As much as people hate them, I think people love them too, because I get complaints that we don't do enough enforcement. That will begin in earnest on July 1st. Going to the governor's extension, he also did driver's licenses until August 15th. So if you got driver's licenses, identification cards, and things like that that have expired, they need to be in order by August 15th. For code enforcement, done a lot of grass and rain makes the grass grow high. So he's been working closely with a number of properties and getting those taken care of, and most of them have gone through or have followed through and gotten the grass cut. We've sent out, I believe it's 4 vacant property notices, and hope to get those in line in the very near future. Finally, we've been contacted by the church in the 4300 block of Bladensburg Road. I'll call it the new church, but it's kind of not so new anymore, but they haven't been able to have services there. They're going to have their a grand opening this weekend. And we're going to work with them and lessen the impact to the neighborhood, and hopefully that will all go well. And we put out notice, Prince George's Hospital, place I was born at a long time ago, will be closing Sunday.
Mhm.
And it probably may not sound like too much of a big deal, but as much as we like to talk bad about it and hate it and all that, it is, if something bad happens, that's where you run to.
Mhm.
It won't be there after Sunday. So I want everybody to think about a plan B. They're going, there will be a hospital in Largo. That's where the University of Maryland's opening their new state-of-the-art facility. But you may want to look up another Care First or something like that. That's a little closer. In case of the news. You have those bumps and scrapes, and bad things that happen. That's the end of my report.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chief. Appreciate that. I wanted to let the council know, I mean, I had a short conversation with the chief today, but I don't know if I mentioned before, we had a spreadsheet for code enforcement to list the things that places that have received a citation and what the status is and whatnot. And that report was available to the council members as well to see. So we talked about making sure we revive that again, because if you're hearing from your residents in town about anything, any matters or whatever, you would be able to go online because it was a Google sheet. So you can say, oh, this is the status of what's going on here. Because a lot of times residents don't know that we're in the middle of a situation with a resident. There may be some financial difficulties and a resident actually trying to get done what they need to be done, and they've got an extension. And that information, you want to be able to have at your hand. So we're going to get that back up and running again. We'll let you know, send you the links to it so that you'll be informed. And so when you can inform your residents when they have questions about things, and you can know that something's going on. Sometimes it might seem like it takes a long time, but sometimes there's issues involved. Anybody have any questions for the chief?
No, ma'am.
No. Is there a motion to accept the chief's report?
I motion it, Member Hobbs.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it, Councilmember Harden.
Member Harding, any discussion?
Thank you, Chief.
I'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
and the mayor votes aye. Okay, so now moving on to our community reports. We have a report. Do we have a report for the Garden Club?
Yes, and if you see me poking at my phone, it's because Ms. Doretha Epps and I were trying to coordinate for her to leave another meeting to be able to give it. So she asked me to give it for her.
Okay.
So if that's okay with everyone.
Mhm.
It's quite a few items. I'll try to move quickly. So she just wanted to recap the month of May with the Colmar Manor Garden Club. They built a bench and added 6 yellow bins for sitting in the West Garden. They added landscaping weed tarp in the West Garden. Continued to work on the landscaping in the triangle, which is there at 40th Avenue near where our new water permeable pavers are. And she requests council and citizens, if you see trash, please help pick it up. It's become, for some reason, our beautiful little triangle with roses has become a place where people throw trash. So if you see it, pick it up. Help us all keep the town clean. We received, she says they received 2 picnic tables with their community forklift grant. They've all been painted in the East Garden. They installed a new shed in the West Garden. The Weed Warriors maintain all the weeds in both gardens on a weekly basis. Gratitude out for that. Inventory the garden equipment in both sheds. They got that done. They installed 2 rose bushes and crepe myrtle plants in the East Garden. Utilized donated bricks to construct a pathway in the West Garden. The garden club is busy, y'all. New signs are up in the East and West Gardens. And there is an invitation for wine in the garden at 4321 Newton Street, Friday, June 25th from 6:30 to 8, if you're old enough to drink wine. And the rain date will be Friday, July 9th. So that's Friday, June 25th, 6:30 to 8. If it rains, Friday, July 9th, same time. Yard beautification will begin on June 21st through June 2nd. That's a contest for most beautiful yard. First place winner only, 1 in each ward. So there will be 4 winners, and the winners will be, and that those are judged usually by outside entities. So there's no chance of bias for Colmar Manorians judging each other. And those will be announced on Tuesday, July 8th. Application and garden rules are on the town website. The cost of a plot is $20. If you would like to pay for your plot online, former council member Epps and now citizen Epps can send you the link. She is at DEPPS, DEPPS@colmarmanor.org. Working on installing the greenhouse in the East Garden. Volunteers are needed to help with adding mulch. The mulch is sitting in front of the East Garden. Cardboards are needed, so please put those in front of 4321 Newton Street. Cardboard boxes flattened, I promise, I'm almost done. Former Councilmember Epps has been taking lessons from me, working on video, past, present, and future of the garden. And the next meeting is June 19th, 2021 in the East Garden, if weather permits. They're usually 10 to 12. She doesn't say here, but that's usually the time. So June 19th, 2021. Thank you for Doretha Epps.
That's it.
Isn't that enough?
Is that all? That's all?
I mean, I could make up some stuff.
No, we really appreciate them and everything they're doing and continue to do. And like beautiful furniture. I went by several times. Ms. Epps' daughter-in-law. I mean, spent so much time just working and beautifying those chairs and sanding them down. And I mean, just that the whole place is a labor of love. And that's what's really, really appreciated about that. And that includes our triangle. That was a labor of love for them to put that together. And a lot went into that. Even the process of getting out all that concrete that was in there and then having it. So, whatever we can do, people, it's not a trash can. It's just not. So keep up the good work. Do you have a green team report?
So I partially mentioned it in my board report that currently Doretha Epps and I met and discussed having a joint meeting. So the goal is first to engage and invite more residents to join the committee, and not just the Green Team Committee, but all the committees. I encourage everyone. And so we will be sending out a survey soon. And then preemptively, we are thinking, it was established that we have Green Team meetings on every third Monday of the month. So it falls on the 21st of June. I would like to keep it that way. And I know we had a joint meeting with Cottage City Green Team. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend that in May, but I hope, Mayor, you can chime in and add to that report as well on the Green Team meeting.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for the meeting and trying to get this moving again and getting everything up, because it's really interesting. We were really doing really well before COVID with our recreation council, with the Green Team, Garden Club. So I want to get those moving again. The meeting in Cottage City, where it was the in-person meeting, which was really nice. We did it at the garden in Cottage City. And Councilmember Mendoza was there, as well as Ms. Epps, and I think we had a couple other Colmar Manor residents there as well. And we talked about, there was a summit that Sustainable Maryland was having, and they were asking a few questions, like things that we can do together. We talked about our green streets and how we can move, how we can use information that we've found since we've started already to help Cottage City get a green street started there. We had quite a conversation about Meglev and its impact on the environment, and what can we do to assist, which of course Councilmember Bowles helped us in working on our resolution related to that, and sent it into the whoever the people who we are, about the things and the impact it could have on us. So we had that conversation together. I will add that I was able to attend the the Sustainable Maryland meeting. It was very good. I think there might have been like 17 different towns, and we were all reported out. I will send my presentation. I think Councilmember Hobbs was on the line, right? And Ms. Epps were also on the line. I can send you all the presentation that was done, which sort of shows what we've done over the last year or so from a Green Team perspective. And And I'll put it on, we can put it out on Facebook too, so other people can see some of the stuff that we've done, and that was really nice to be able to talk about that. I will say that for this call, Prince George's County, stormwater was a big part of the conversation from many towns. And some of them had some good recommendations. I can't recall easily right now, but Sustainable Maryland is compiling all the presentations so that we can all look at presentations done by the other towns and see if we can gather up with that. I'll also mention that I met with Ms. Goodall this week where she is aggressively looking for funding opportunities for us to expand our Green Street. And I'm really excited about that. From a Green Street perspective, especially stormwater management issues that we have. But more to come. I think we got a lot that we're going to be able to do. And I think the funding, particularly the adding stormwater management in the funding for the American Rescue Plan, is a really big deal. And we can help a lot of homeowners improve the situations at their homes and even maybe their facades at the same time. So that's what I would add to the Green Team. We're so excited we're still doing it. For the Recreation Council, so normally there would be a meeting on the first Monday of the month. And right now we just do not have legs on this Recreation Council. We have been fortunate to continue to have all of our regular types of events during the year. But, we've got a good amount of money in the budget for our recreation going forward. I understand that we have some really good new ideas on things that we can do from a recreation perspective. So I urge you, as Councilmember Hobbs has, to reach out about joining and being involved. We're coming out of COVID. It's time to get outside. It's time to, do some things. I mean, even if we just had a walk, just a community walk, and we have some music playing, and everybody can chat and talk outdoors and feel safe. Anything goes, but I need people to participate in order to get these things done. So look forward to that. For the seniors, I will say, I am happy to say we have a bus running again, which I know a lot of people want to say. There's a meeting scheduled for Thursday afternoon. It's going to be after our event to talk with the other towns about the bus and the status of it going forward. And while we did not put anything in the budget here, I feel like we have somewhat of a consensus of participating in a new bus. I think our seniors really, really want it. And we always want to continue to take care of our seniors. They've earned it. And let's see, what other, do we have PGCMA?
So PGCMA just had elections this past May, and it was very successful. So successful that we have 2 people from the home team on the PGCMA Board of Directors. And so one of them is at large, Mayor Sadara Barrows. And then I guess they like me so much as a secretary, I'm on there again for the second year. So, yeah.
Represent Colmar Manor.
Yeah. I think we're the only town, there's 2 of us, isn't there?
I think, so, yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
And so we meet Thursday, the 10th. Is it the 10th? 17th, I'm sorry. At, no, wrong. The 17th at 7 p.m. So look out for that Zoom link.
Okay. Awesome. I just want to say, I mean, PGCMA is the most well-attended event of all events around here. It's amazing. And people are participative, I mean, very involved. So that's real exciting to see. Prince George's County municipalities rock. I'm just saying.
And one more, I'm sorry. Congratulations, Colmar Manor, because we're Banner City again.
That's right. We're Banner
Yeah.
City again. And you know what, guys? I'm going to tell y'all something that's funny. A lot of people missed, and it had to do with the banner. November is Municipal Government Works Month. And so we're supposed to do something for Municipal Government Works. And I think because everybody was Zooming and everything like that, they just didn't think about making it happen. And it's so cool. We have to send in our picture that indicates, usually we come together, we take a picture up in front of the sign or whatever. But we put the sign up. And so I was able to take a picture of the Zoom because it's behind my head in the Zoom, showing that we did it in November. And it's a Zoom with all the boxes on it and everything like that. But that got us in.
Made it work.
Municipal Government Works. That reminds me, there is the county executive. I don't know if you guys are because I got one today and I think I had gotten it before from Ms. Ross that the county executive is having a meeting. When is it? It's June. It's Monday. I think it's Monday the 14th at 4:00. Is that right? At
June, I'm sorry, am I misspeaking? Angela also Brooks for the 2021 State of the County, or are you speaking of?
No, not the state of the county. This is specifically with municipal leaders about the American Rescue Act, where she wants the collaboration for us to talk, for us to hear from them, what they're planning, thinking about with the money, and hear from us and what we're thinking about for the money, so that we can collaborate and work together on certain things before we making any final decisions. And I do want to remind everybody with the American Rescue Plan that the funding within the plan, which we're expected to get about $1.2 million, is for a period to be what's the word? Allocated to something by December of 2024 and to be spent by 2026. So when we think about what we can use the money for, we don't have to unload it all at once. We should, to take the time, hold on, think about things that really we need help with. And so as we're having all these conversations, we think about something that's sustainable. Putting money into something that lives long and not just spent. So I want to make sure I reminded everybody about that. I do hope you guys, the church event is at 11. Well, they're all day, and they said you can come any time of the day if you want to. But between 11:30 and 1:00 is kind of when I think they may be mingling with outsiders. So please take an opportunity to stop by if you can. Even if it's just a quick ride by. They've been waiting a long time to get the building open. It's unbelievable. When they finally thought they had it done, then COVID came and then it just really stopped. So they've never really officially opened their building. Whatever else did I have one here before we? Any other groups? You want to say anything about AWS?
Well, first, I'll start with in regards to our donation. I haven't gotten a response yet from Aaron, so I may have to give a call. I sent the email, but they did give a state of report on the river, so I could give us an update on that. Overall, I feel like I was getting feedback. Overall, we got a grade of a D, scoring 63%, which is upward trend considering this is the third highest year of rainfall. Some highlights that we got, there's less fecal bacteria. That's a downward trend. The trash reduction is receiving a score of 64%, giving us a D, which is an upward trend. And lastly, the canoe tours are opening back up the 24th. So that's a advice to people to get out and go out and have some fun in our local park. It's very cheap and it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
yeah.
good news. That's good news. Yeah, especially with the fecal matter. Improvement.
Very much so.
Mayor, is Miss Blue on the call for the Neighborhood Watch?
Yeah.
She is, and she said she could do a report. She's one of the phone calls.
She's going to do.
Hello?
Okay.
We can give it a try.
And I don't have to do it.
So do you want me to, what do you want to do? How do you want to do this?
I'll try it on this end and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we don't get.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello? Chief Stone,
I can
Hello?
hear her. Oh,
can you hear me, Mayor?
yes,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Go on and speak, Mayor.
Go ahead, speak.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to speak briefly about the Neighborhood Watch meeting last month. Chief Stone mainly talked about everything, so I'll just make it quickly. We did talk about the dogs running loose, and we talked about having Mr. Wade, our code enforcer, attending a meeting. And I'd like to thank Officer Chavez. He's helped with a lot of it was open meeting questions and answers. And so we talked about missing person, auto theft. We talked about the gunshots. We talked about kids riding bicycles without helmets. And we talked about suspicious people standing around, how to handle that. We also talked about noise ordinance. Still we're having problems with loud music. People drinking open bottles of liquor and throwing liquor bottles, urinating in the street. And thank Officers Chavez and Chief Stone for a lot of answers to those things. And our next meeting will be the 24th of June at 7 o'clock at 43rd Monroe at the Mayor's Park right there, the Children's Playground Park right there. And by that time, I'm hoping Chief Stone will have our Neighborhood Watch banner so we can put that up and let people know earlier. And I'm hoping that Kristen will post it on the bulletin board also so people can be aware of it. No topic at that meeting. And I thank Chief Stone and Officer Chavez, and I thank Doretha Epps and Vivian Jackson for their suggestions at the meeting also. And I'd like to thank all the people that chimed in, but this meeting will be outside. And I thank you, Mayor and Council. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blue.
Thank you, Ms.
You're welcome.
Blue. Appreciate it. Turn it off. Turn me off. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Blue. Appreciate you keeping that going, keeping moving forward. Thanks, Chief. And I really want to thank the officers. I can't say enough. I hear quite often about how much people are appreciating our officers and them being visible and around and so forth. Anybody have any other reports? Any other, okay, community reports. Okay, so I'll open it up to community comments at this point. If you wish to comment, please first unmute you. Well, I don't see many people visually there, so I can't get a raised hand. But if you will if you can raise your hand, raise it. If you can't, then if you could do, if I call on you, on your name and your street, 100 block of your street. I see Yolanda, iPhone. Please state your full name.
This is good evening, everyone. This is Yolanda Barnett on 3605 41st Avenue. I have a question for the chief. He mentioned that the shooting that occurred last month is being investigated. My question is, who is doing the investigation? Is it PG Police Department or Colmar Manor Police Department?
Combination of both.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Are you still there?
I have a question.
This is the chief again. I'm just gonna follow up on that answer for just a moment. It's being investigated by both, primarily Prince George's County Police. They investigated as a non-contact shooting. Non-contact shooting is where shots were fired, but no people were injured. We, because it occurred in the town of Colmar Manor, are also investigating and will assist them with whatever they need. It's being investigated by both.
Thank you.
Can I ask, was there any damage to property from that shooting?
No damage to property and no one reported any injury, but there was shell casing. So there were certainly shots fired that afternoon. 6:30 p.m.
What type of,
Oh,
do you know what type of gun
the
was?
no, being shell casings, it's a semi-automatic, probably a pistol or handgun.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Okay, so am I, wait, are we, wait a minute. We gotta work this out. Telephone number 1240-601-1407 is, are you trying to speak?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's just work out getting up so we can actually hear you a little bit better. I'm gonna turn my mic off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to know, on Lawrence Street, you have several cars that are parked in the yard and working vehicles in the
I have to
yard.
stop you.
Is that something?
Your name and the 100 block of the street you live on.
Oh, okay, my name is Karen, and I live on the 3600 block of 43rd Avenue.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me okay? Yes,
Yes.
my question was, on Lawrence Street, there are several vehicles that are parked on the, in the yard, and their work vehicles as well. There's just parking in, right down the line there. Is anything going to be done about that?
Yes, this is Chief Stone again. Without giving the address, I think I know which resident you're speaking of, and code enforcement is working on that particular issue. I'm going to give you my email address, and if you can send me the specific address, I'll make sure that that's the one, and if it's not, we'll work on that one as well. And I'm at tstone@colmarmanor.org, tstone@colmarmanor.org. Or if you're not an email kind of person, call up town hall tomorrow and I'll be glad to speak with you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any further question? Okay, I want to ask if the person with a phone number ending in 9023 is trying to speak.
Yeah, it does sound, looks like it.
Yes.
Well, I see Mr. Kurt. Again, please give out your full name and your block of the street you live on.
Yes, Kurt Plunke, 3300 to 40th Avenue. Just commending the noise ordinance passage and the coordination or follow-up with the train horn signaling, modified mufflers, which I think in the park police cracked down on that because I've noticed significant reduction. But there's other modified muffler type things maybe in town. Anyway, a sound ordinance is comprehensive, and it also, respects the peace during the daytime.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We missed quite a bit of what you were saying.
Oh, what was the audio problematic?
Yeah, on our side, I mean, we're just trying to make this work. But if you don't mind, just repeat again.
Oh, the comment is about other sources of noise we need to be cognizant about, and maybe I'll join the green team to tackle train horn signaling, PG Parks. I think have cracked down on modified mufflers in the park. It's a park, not a raceway. And the preservation of the peace and quiet also during the daytime, because when a lot of us telework at home, we like to have it sound like the office, or like where you guys are sitting, very thick building with bricks and sound windows. And I like to have that in my house as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, do we have anyone else on like resident comment?
Hi, Mayor. This is Doretha. I live on 4309 Lawrence Street. Doretha Epps.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't do the garden report. I'm sorry, just coming on to the meeting. But I want to add that anybody that have boxes, I want them to deliver them down to 4321 Newton Street, which is the garden that we're getting ready to put down the cardboard boxes to stop the weeding. So if anybody have boxes, please deliver them down to 4321 Newton Street. It's all the way to the end. It's the garden on the end.
All right, thank you very much. So now when you're trying to figure out what to do with those Amazon boxes, now you know where you can put them.
Yes, now you know where you can put them, down at the garden.
Yes.
I know.
All right, anybody else have resident comments?
Can you,
It's Miss Karen again?
yeah, can you tell us again when you're going to start the parking enforcement tickets?
July 1st.
July 1st. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, is there any other resident comments? Okay, well, thank you all very much for that. I appreciate it. I will. Oh, I just wanted to mention, before anybody might want to leave, I want to mention that there was an issue with the beige truck on Monday, that it was, what do they call it? Hopper juice, a problem with one of their trucks. And they have said that they were to come back and sort of spray wash the spots that they observe. So I'm gonna stay on top of that because I don't know, it was supposed to happen today and I'm not sure if it did. So I have Mr. Gorham checking on that to see if they can come out and at least where you can see it. But, it rained a little bit today, which is good for the problem. But they have agreed that they're going to check on that a little bit better in the future. Before, it used to be really bad, by the way. I mean, because this is way better than it was before they got new trucks. So we still got to appreciate the improvement, but at the same time, it's still, I wanted to notify you of something we're aware of. We do have, one of the things that I do want to state, because I don't think everybody, well, people really don't realize this. We have communications with Bates after their run almost every day, so that we know if they have run into a problem with a circumstance, or couldn't take recycling because it wasn't appropriate, or if somebody's bulk isn't just bulk, it's like a whole house been put out, they don't take that. So we get those communications so that we can individually deal with situations when they occur. That's been a huge improvement we did not have before, and that's working out really well. Unfortunately, last week, Memorial Week, bulk trash wasn't picked out, and we had about 7 residents affected by that. It was Bates' intention to inform us that they were not going to pick up the bulk trash, but somebody inadvertently left it out of the flyer that we shared with the residents, because there's been that improvement too, where they will send us a flyer of what their plans are going to be on a trash day, and we send it out, which we did, but it did not say there wasn't going to be bulk on it. So I have spoken to Bruce Bates, the owner, about that, because that communication didn't go well. Even once we communicated back to them that there was a problem, we had to escalate that. So I just want to let everybody know, when something snafus goes wrong, we're not just silent. We are doing things to try to help it make it better. So I wanted to let those affected know. Code enforcement went around individually to the houses that had their bulk out and let them know that there was a problem from Bates. And Mr. Bates is supposed to be sending us an email to specifically say they had this problem. So, so if anybody, wanted to have that official, we'll have that official information, so everybody can see what happened transparently. I'm trying to think of anything else that the residents would really be. All I can say is just communicate with your council members on anything that you feel like you need something on. I'm proud that the tree stumps aren't in the tree anymore, and I just really would have never noticed it if we didn't have the communication from a resident about these tree stumps in the air, and they're gone. I'm also happy to say that the tree stumps have been removed from the back of the Newton Street Park. So, a little bit of noise got us there. With any more residents, I will move on to the minutes. We have several sets of minutes from June 12th, from February 9th, a public hearing, from February 9th, special work session. February 9th, the town meeting, and March 9th, town meeting. For anyone or all, if you feel it fit, to make a motion to accept the minutes, barring any major corrections. Now, the June 12th meetings, June 12th meeting minutes we previously had, and we had asked for some corrections.
June or January?
If I didn't say January, I meant January.
Okay. Just making sure.
I do have one question on February 9th. It shows no neighborhood watch report. I don't recall not having given one, but I won't swear to it, but I thought I gave a neighborhood watch report. Or Miss Blue did, one of us, or the three of us with the chief. Can we double check that? Because I feel like
Did we have a neighborhood watch meeting in January?
this is the February 9th. Did we have one?
Yeah, I don't think we resumed until
Well, let's see, we
March
had
or
a
April.
February. What did we say in January? The meetings will be held before Thursday. The next meeting would be March. Yeah, perhaps you're right. Okay, I stand corrected. Or at least confused and forgetful.
No objection for me. Doug, you made your way through? Are you still looking?
I have not had a chance to look through these.
No,
to be
yeah, I was-
honest
that's
with you.
what
I've
I'm
been
saying. Yeah,
looking
go
through
ahead.
5 million other documents. I'm sorry to say.
No,
I
take your
don't want
time.
to take your time. I mean,
No, you're fine. Take your time.
if you all need,
I mean, you can do them individually if there's any that you're very comfortable with. I mean, I think the 24-hour one is pretty clear
Yeah.
from February 9th.
Mhm.
Now, I'm confused, but it seemed like to me, okay, well, oh, that's right, it was all on the same day. Yeah, the 24-hour, oh, yeah. The special work session to meet with NA Michaels. So the only thing I would say on that one, it says, and maybe, I mean, they all might have this problem. 724 motion by council member. Yeah, they do all have this problem. They don't say what the motion is for. The motion is to adjourn. This one does say it.
Yeah,
Yes, to
yeah.
adjourn. So the 24-hour ordinance one, that one's okay. That one does say motion to adjourn. January 12th says motion to adjourn.
Is the direct statement supposed to say motion to adjourn? Or does it have to say adjourn within the motion?
It can say it. either
Because I was
way.
looking back at the February 9th special work session and it's just not next to the motion to adjourn. Adjourns next to Hobbs. So it reads motion by Councilman.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that works. I'd rather see the other way where the whole motion is there before the names.
I get you. That's why I looked it over. And I was like, oh, no, it is.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the January 12th, 2021 town meeting that was tabled.
Okay, is there a second?
Councilmember Harden, second that motion.
Okay. Any discussion on the 12th, January 12th? All right, call for vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward
Aye.
3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
Ward 5. Mayor votes aye.
Or
Wow.
five.
All right. Any other ones? So February 9th, we had the meeting with N.I. Michaels about the gas station,
Mhm.
4300, 4200 Williamsburg Road. We also had the hearing for the 24-hour operation.
Yeah. Councilmember Harding, I'd make a motion to accept the February 9th meeting minutes.
All of them, all three? Three of them.
I would ask for one small correction on February 9th.
Where exactly?
I'm sorry, February 9th, page 1, under public comments.
Okay.
I remember Ms. Bethay was confused and thought that this was an ordinance in favor of 24-hour businesses.
Hmm.
And she became clearer when she realized that that it was actually to limit them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a better wording, is not in favor of a 24-hour ordinance. I mean, this is recorded literally what she said.
I mean, we could
But
put
she
in
was in fact in
brackets.
favor of the idea. She's just confused.
It was, I mean, we could put in, because what we know that happened kind of in a weird way later. We could put in parentheses by the ordinance, 24-hour establishments, because she was saying that she did not agree with allowing for 24 hours establishments.
I wonder if we could just say is not in favor of 24-hour business operations. I know she did say I'm not in
Yeah,
favor of
she
the
did
ordinance,
say-
but she just was confused.
Business operations, I would put it in brackets so it's
Okay.
clear.
Right, so that we can know. I'm just thinking, 30 years down the road, if somebody reads these randomly,
I know.
feel like
It's
she's
just
not
like,
in
why
favor of it.
did we want to?
But she is in favor of it.
Well, we probably should have named it differently. But now it was right. Business operations. Okay, so step back a little bit. Councilmember Harding, you were making a motion for February 9th. I asked which one, or is it all of them?
Well, I was, yeah, the one of one, our special work session with NAI.
Okay, so NA Michaels, the meeting. All right, is there a second?
I'll second that. Councilmember Mendoza.
Any discussion?
This is the short one.
Yes.
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 Just a request, Mayor, if they sent those plans, I don't have them anywhere. If we can get a copy of those business plans to really look over, because I remember we had about 30 minutes that night. It'd be great to get a copy of those plans.
I know why I was hesitating on this. We had another conversation before this. Oh, John, it just went across my head again when you said that, the plans. We met with Pepco.
Yes.
Pepco. I know, it was like, I know we had another
So
something.
those minutes are missing.
Yeah.
Because we had 4 meetings that night, didn't we?
It was-
Yes.
It was a long night. That was a very.
It was really long. I'm like, I know more happened than this.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I
Yeah, I think
completely, we met with
tabled
Pepco
these.
about the cars, so this. we can-
Yes.
So you wanna, pull your motion?
Yeah, I would pull my motion on
Okay,
special work session minutes.
second.
I
Pull it.
second, I'll pull it.
Okay.
Was that included in this one, or would that be a separate set of minutes? Because that's a separate meeting.
That is separate.
I don't think it was a separate meeting.
Or
The
do we
two
have-
were, this was these were two items on the special work session.
Okay.
We had the special work session, and so the two things we had was Pepco, cars, the electric cars, and, Michael's. What does this message mean, Chief? It says, please ask the host to give you permission to record. Is it just that I did something I shouldn't? Okay, fine, it's fine, it's recording. I must have touched something. Yeah, so those are the two items on this particular work session. Works was the Pepco electric cars.
So it's revision.
Okay. Did we, okay, so where are we with February 9th, 24-hour operation? This is a hearing, by the way. Yes, it's, okay, public hearing, it says at the top.
We have one revision.
Yeah, with the revision related to Ms. Bethay's comment. I also mentioned that Ms. Barnett did say her address, which is missing here. She always does.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So is it safe to, can I make a motion for all of February 9th, 2021, public hearing, special work session, and town meeting? Can we table it to get everything?
Revision, yeah.
Yeah, together?
Okay, do we need to table the town meeting though?
Oh, because the town meeting,
Unless we just.
Need a second?
Hmm?
Need a second.
Oh,
The motion table.
wait a minute. She was, okay, so you want to table all, okay, so I need a second. To table February 9th.
Councilmember Harden
All
will
three.
second that.
Okay,
Table, sir?
I said Councilmember Harden will second that motion to table February 9th.
okay, discussion. My question is, do we need to table the town meeting?
it's not missing.
I mean, can we make a motion to accept it with the revisions?
Well, on 12, I mean, for the town meeting, I haven't heard any revisions.
Oh, you're talking about March 9th, March 9th.
No, February 9th, the actual town meeting. It just says Colmar Manor Town Meeting. One of them says Colmar Manor Public Hearing, one says Colmar Manor Special Work Session, and the other one says Colmar Manor Town Meeting. And I don't,
I might be missing that February 9th one. I have January 12th, 2 February 9th, and then March 9th.
There should be 3 February.
I just have a question. Who is taking the notes for these meetings? Our staff, I imagine they go over the recordings and then take the notes.
yeah, so up until very recently, Abigail has been on our calls with us, but Dan takes notes when he's in the meeting. So it's a combination. He takes notes, which would be on the major something happened situation, but then she listens to the tape to include what more might be more nuance involvement. So, I mean, mostly like in a town meeting, it's gonna only be a motion, a second, discussion, and a vote. Except for our reports, which are more. She mostly has to listen to, because I don't know how much, Mr. Bain, I don't know how much you write down about the Green Team report. Dates or things like that.
I write down the basic comments, decisions that are made, votes that are taken. I don't go into write down all the details of what is said.
Right, so when we do the community reports, like Green Team, Recreation County, Neighborhood Watch, those they have to listen to in order to get.
I usually write some comment down on major items for those as well.
Okay, like if there was a date of an event or
Yep.
something like that, that's gonna happen out of it.
So do you think the omission happened because they just simply forgot, or?
You mean like the electric car?
Yeah.
I don't know how the electric cars got missing.
One of the other things is she sends out the minutes prior to the meeting, as I approve them, I review what she writes compared to my notes. I give it back to her. She's then supposed to give it to you all. You all are supposed to have a chance to look at it, respond back to her before they get on the agenda. Are you all getting those?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping by the time we get to the meeting, everything's been worked out. And if you're missing something, you should have made her aware of it so that when it gets on the agenda, there shouldn't be any changes at all. So, I'm just getting in on the end of this. It sounds like you're tabling everything.
Well, no, right now it was just, we've already voted on January 12th. February 9th, there was three meetings. So the first meeting, which was Pepco, the agenda for the work session, that was Pepco and NAI Michaels. So we were about to vote on it, but I was gnawing in my head that something big was missing. And I had looked at it before too, but we completely missed Pepco is missing from it altogether.
I have an idea. Why don't we just approve the meeting each month for the previous meeting instead of having 3 or 4 months of meetings to approve?
That's such a novel idea.
I know, right? I think it's a great idea.
I second that.
You second that? Okay. Approved. Motion, 1, 2, 3, done.
You know what, well, just like what a wonderful time to say how things should be. Mr. Barr,
Two things, Madam Mayor.
I can't
First-
hear you.
I'm sorry. Am I live?
You just have to move it closer. You have to move it closer. Are you alive?
That was a good one.
I
I
hope.
meant on the mic. First of all, Mr. Baden, can I be plugged into that distribution when it goes out to the council?
Sure.
The minutes? Thank you. Second of all, we have a motion on the floor, which has been seconded to table the minutes from the 3 items on February 9th.
Yes,
And that's not discussable motion to table.
you said it's not a discussable motion. You can't
Motion to
have
table.
discussion about tabling it? I mean, suppose there's
You vote.
people. I mean, but
wants
suppose
to
there's
table.
changes somebody's opinion about whether it should be tabled or not.
Well, Mayor, I'm just suggesting that that's the way it works. If you don't want to follow it as the director of the meeting, as the chairman of the meeting, you don't have to.
I just don't understand that, why if we wouldn't have a discussion as to whether to table something or not. But you can either pull your motion back or we can vote. So if you want to move forward the motion to table, I don't understand not having discussion, but we'll go into that a little bit more. But one of the reasons we wind up with adding more on is when we do table, because then we wind up it has to come back again, and then they start getting lengthier, you know. So that's the reason why I was trying to, I didn't see anything wrong with this one from from February 9th. I can see the other two have some issues.
The town meeting, that's what you were saying.
Right, right. So, I mean, if we can get rid of something, I think we should try to get rid of it, but that would be up to Councilmember Mendoza to change your motion, but if you want to leave it, that's fine too.
So what happens had we not recalled that the PAPCO was not added and just voted on it?
We all 5 of us would have been derelict.
Well, I'm just saying.
I
because
mean, we
it's been
just
such a
all would
long
have like,
time. It's been such a long time ago. We don't remember. Are we supposed to go back and like match with our notes? I mean, given that we have enough time, we could probably do that. Like if we receive these notes ahead of time. But basically, we have to go back to February. That's why I would like with the notes to be ready for us for the previous sessions.
I don't really see any reason why they should not be. So I can't.
I mean, it's just sitting down and doing it in one day. It's just the job like that has to be done.
Mhm.
I don't, I may not recall what happened in February and we would have forgotten about it and the PAPCO electric vehicles altogether and
Yep. So all I can say, I mean, to that is the clerk is here and the question to the clerk about the minutes, the timeliness of the minutes.
well, it's not only the question to Mr. Baden, it's just overall to staff as well.
Well, but
Taking the notes, I know that he explained that he's matching them with whenever.
no, but
he
it's the role of the
receives them.
clerk. It's the role of the clerk in order to ensure that the minutes and the information about is reported. That is the role of the clerk. Whether someone else is assigned underneath to do that, it's still the role of the clerk in order to ensure that that happens. So he's right here. And so your question is, it's fine. It's fine to say to him, can we assure that we have the minutes the next month? The
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it should be doable. It should happen that way. Part of it is probably on the minute taker. I'm the minute taker, so I get my notes to Abby the day after the meeting. They're on her desk. She then should be able to put it together. It's in her duties. Once she sends them back to me and they go out to you, you all will have the duty to review them as quick as you can. And if that takes place, there shouldn't be any reason why we can't have them by the next meeting. It does seem that we keep tabling a lot of minutes, so there ends up being a lot more on. So then it seems like there's more than,
Exactly.
to go over. So, let's get caught up and, stick to that.
So,
Yeah,
are we
we're,
allowed to talk?
so I mean,
So I'm sorry that I. went
we're
to-
really, our conversation really mostly is, the focus here is on the minutes. I mean, discussion about February 9th and whether or not we're going to table the minutes. And the question around that and tabling the minutes is, it means all 3 of these are going to come back again, and then we're going to still have a lengthy amount of minutes on top of whatever new minutes we have. In that conversation, Councilmember Hobbs has brought up, well, why can't we just have them the month before, the month right after, so we can recall and remember. So it's all kind of tied together to this motion to table February 9th.
So I apologize for having to leave, but nature called. And so my question, can I ask a question?
Please.
Mr. Barr has scared me.
I know Mr. Barr scared us. He's like, we can't discuss
So
the
my
motion.
question is, I heard you say notes, Mr. Baden. Is Abby you're going from a recording and making notes, and Abby's then converting your notes?
I'm making notes as we meet. I break down the motions. I have, from last meeting, I have probably 6 pages of notes that I then go and give Abby the next morning, and I have them numbered based on the items on the agenda. So I have, I go and write down everything that we talked about. So, and I do take pretty good notes, I think. So hopefully she doesn't have to go back for every item. Now, if you all want, I know not too long ago, I heard you all want more verbatim of what was said, which is really not how in my mind, how minutes are written. Minutes capture the key items and key discussion points, but they're not word for word. So, what I write down, I think is sufficient for her to do minutes. Now, if you all, well, I said this, I said that, and you want it in there when you review it, you should put those in because I'm not capturing every little thing you say. If you say, for the record, I would like to say this, I will write that. And she should put those in. If there's something
That's helpful.
more specific that you want, that you said that you want in the minutes, when you all look at them before they're here at the meeting, you should say, Abby, include this in there.
That's important for us to know.
Yep.
Thank you. So we should be saying for the record, or I would like it recorded on the record that I said blah, blah, blah.
If you want something specifically in the minutes, yes. If it's not in a motion itself,
Okay, 'cause
motions will
I
always
believe-
be captured, formal decisions will be captured.
Yeah, I believe I was the one who, when we make a council decision, I said about one of our decisions, I didn't feel that I was on the same plane with
Correct.
the other council and that I wanted my opinion voiced.
And
So
that
you've
was
just
writ-
taught
that-
me how to do that. So thank you.
And that was in those minutes.
Yeah.
And that
Last
was
meeting.
in those minutes because those were, I mean, well, we haven't gotten them yet, but those should be there because while we didn't do a formal vote, we did a consensus around the room. So if somebody objects or abstains or says, it's not going to be completely worded what you wrote, but the one I can recall the easiest is when we were talking about opening the building originally, and you said, I'm not going to respond to this. You have enough support for
I
it.
said I'm a no. Yeah, I said on this, I'm a no, but you
Yeah.
guys have enough votes.
Right, so
Right.
that should show up on that
Yeah.
record.
Right. Another one that I didn't make myself clear on was our decision with Mayor Byrd with participation with that donation.
Yeah.
I didn't make
Mhm.
myself clear on that either. So now I know. So, but you're educating us and that's very important because we are a 75% novice council. So thank you.
But she does go to listen, even with his notes, to try to capture. There are things that were missing when, in just the way that it was being done. Because when you come here and you talk about the garden club, or you come and talk about the green team, there is no vote. There's no something, but then that completely is missed to whomever didn't get to see it or whatever. So we did ask that they go in and at least try to bobble up some of what was said in our reports. But other than that, we have the straight vote kind of thing. Coming back to whether or not we're tabling these 3 sets of minutes, tabling them or bringing them all back. And I just want to remember that. However, it would be nice to have these minutes next month.
Mhm.
And I'll just say that it's happened several times. So we can figure out what the formula is to stop it from happening, for them to get all stacked up. That would be really great to figure that one out so they stop stacking up.
So right now, what's on the floor?
Maybe you can set a date, Mr. Baden, or when it should come to you after the meeting so that
I
for
would
your
say-
review.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll work that.
I made
Okay,
a motion,
great.
right,
Yeah,
to
to
table
return,
everything.
Yes,
So can I pull that back?
you could pull it back and just do the two that
Throw it
we know
away.
are problems.
Yeah, so I'd like to pull back, tabling the February 9th, 2021 minutes.
Okay.
And
And who was the second? That was you?
excuse me, and I second that motion.
Okay, to pull it. All right, so now we do need to table the work session, missing Pepco, and we need to table the, well, we don't really need to table the 24
The town-
hours.
Yeah, the town meeting. So
It's
I-
just a type, I mean, we can pass it with the change, Councilmember Bowles.
That was my question originally. That was
Yeah,
my
we
question
can
originally.
pass it with that, because it's not a big change.
Okay.
The work session is a big change. We're completely missing Pepco. But where the change, the address for the address for Ms. Barnett and the statement by Ms. Bethay, I think we clear it with the recommendation from Councilmember Bowles on that one.
Okay, so, Councilmember Harding makes a motion to accept the town meeting minutes for February 9th, 2021, and to accept our hearing ordinance for the 24-hour operation for February 9th, 2021 with the changes for public comments for Miss, I don't want to get her name wrong,
Yes.
Miss Barnett and Miss Betha.
And
what
for
are
Ms.
the-
Bethay?
Miss Betha, Miss Betha. There you go.
So what about those comments? I'm sorry.
Um,
What are we changing?
We are changing for Miss Bethay that she's not in favor of a 24-hour business operation. Instead of saying she's not in favor of 24-hour ordinance, because she's in favor of the ordinance, not the business in operation. And for Miss Barnett, it is missing her address, and she definitely said it that night.
Now, for Bethay, verbatim, she did say the word ordinance. But in the more details of the conversation, the clarification was there that she was talking about business operations. So,
So if Ms. Bethay, we're saying is not in favor of 24-hour business operation, and for Ms. Barnett, we're going to list her address.
Yes.
I just think the business operation probably should be in brackets because it's not where she said it. In brackets, because you know how you bracket something like, okay, this is what really was meant there, but it didn't actually get said there.
Well, I mean, if you all think that that's what you meant, business operation, I'll just leave it at that because we're not putting quotes around anything anyway.
Okay,
It works for
all
me.
right, okay.
And so those were the only two changes on
The public hearing.
public hearings. So this public hearing. Okay,
All right, is there a second?
Councilmember Mendoza, I will second that.
Okay, any discussion? I know.
I think we got through
No.
finally.
I'll call for a vote, Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2. Yes, the two of these.
Have to collectively vote on them, or do we have to separately on each?
Oh, we can collectively vote on items. But if you,
No, I'm just curious, like, do they come as a package or do they not? You know?
No.
no, you
We're
can
taking
collect, you could collect any date you want to collect.
Thank you for clarifying. Councilmember Hobbs votes aye.
Okay, thank you. And just to make sure, clarity, the two on February 9th that we're voting on is the public hearing for the 24-hour operation and the town meeting on February 9th. Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Thank you, guys. Why can't-
the special work session is what?
Special work session, is there a table, somebody, a motion to table a special work session?
Special, yes, and there was a request, Mr. Baden, from myself, which was if Mr. Michael's corporation had sent to us those plans, could they be forwarded to the council? And if they were, I apologize for losing them.
I apologize as well. I need that forwarded.
The plans for the proposed gasoline station that they showed us in that meeting. Excuse me, sorry, getting dry.
Special work session minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, February 9th.
February 9th, special work, yes.
And so there is some, which under the NAA Michael's gas station, you want something added?
Well, they
No,
were,
they had shown us their plans, their elevations and their plans that night. And I'm asking if those could be forwarded to the council for review, because I remember seeing them, but there was discussion that they may have been sent and I don't have them. So I'm asking if they were sent, can they be resent, please?
So what needs to be changed in the minutes?
Nothing needs to be
Oh.
changed in the minutes. I'm asking
related to
that
this,
now.
nothing needs to be changed in minutes related to this. However, I am going to add, those plans should be in these minutes because they were a part of the meeting. So we should actually have them with the minutes in addition to the council member asking for them to be sent to us. They did say they were going to send them to us and I didn't remember seeing them, getting them.
Essentially. Well, no, not this.
We don't have a motion on the
Yeah, we
floor
don't
yet.
have a motion.
I was asking for a motion to table this and Mr. Baden was asking about it. The reason for tabling it is that Pepco electric cars were also on this agenda that day. And it's completely missing. And so the Pepco, and the documents that they shared with us from Pepco on the location, and there was a lot there. Okay, so is there a motion to table the special work session from February 9th?
So I will make that motion to table February 9th, 2021 special work session minutes.
Okay, it's the second.
I will second that motion. Councilmember Bowles-Ward 3.
Any discussion? For the point of discussion, since it's the piece that goes in the minutes, this is missing our conversation about the electric cars with Pepco.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Sorry, what we voting on right now?
to table the special one that's missing the
Yeah, until
Pepco.
we get everything.
So, Attorney Barr said we don't need to. We've already voted on it.
No,
right?
no, no, no.
Oh.
We pulled it back. So
They-
now we're tabling this one
Okay.
directly.
I,
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Thank you. Getting all kinds of lessons from this. Okay, so we're done. February 9s are gone. January 12th is gone. And so March 9th, last remaining. Okay, so it says here. Oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong. On page 3, where it says approval of minutes. December 15th, 20th, the motion to approve the minutes by Councilmember Bowles and second by Councilmember Willie Carty. Vote 4-0.
Oh, since we approved the minutes.
But then it says discussion, January 12th,
Those
town meeting.
Oh, we're tabled,
and
sorry.
We're tabled. They need to be updated to include, but there's no motion to table them. Something's wrong here. There's a missing motion.
Well, I'm assuming the motion was probably to table.
The table, the January
Yeah.
12th minutes, it's missed, the motion is missing.
So, well, do we have to table this right now just because of that?
I mean, we know they were tabled. I mean,
Yeah.
so we could move to approve them with that correction of,
I think if you just take the vote and put it at the end of the discussion, that's probably what took place. Motion to approve the minutes by Councilmember Doug Bowles, second by Councilmember Blake Holding. Discussion, January 12th, 2021 minutes were tabled. They need to be updated to include the neighborhood watch. December 15th minutes were approved with changes in wording to the designation of check signers. The vote was 4-0 and passed.
So essentially, that's
So-
what happened with that.
are you saying that there were two votes?
only one.
I mean,
vote.
you're saying there's only one vote?
I mean, that's the way it would read to me.
That's the way it reads, but if the discussion is saying June 12 town minutes were tabled, you can't table in a discussion.
Go back and look at them.
Am I making sense? Yeah.
You're saying there should be a motion to table January 12th instead of including it in the same motion to approve the minutes of the 15th.
Yes.
Would be.
So do we want to make the motion with the,
Are we fully clarified towards what that motion was? I don't know. Okay. Cool. Yes, Councilmember Harden will make the motion to approve of the minutes for March 9th, the town meeting. Are we changing anything about it?
clarification on the motion on the minutes?
With clarification on the motion, the minutes for January 12th.
Is there a second?
Councilmember Mendoza, I will second that.
Okay. Discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
and Mayor votes aye. All right, thank you, guys. We got through that one. Okay. Oh. Okay, so the next item we'll be discussing, I'm gonna go ahead and get the town ordinance on the old business. Let's do the noise ordinance. So the noise ordinance, which was adopted. When was it adopted?
I don't have that.
I mean, not adopted. When was it introduced?
I don't have that ordinance in my packet.
Mr. Barr sent us his marked up copy this afternoon. Did you include Mr. Baden in your?
I didn't print it out. I saw the email come through, but I did not print it out.
I could have, I asked.
Which one are we taking up? The budget or
The
the?
noise ordinance.
Noise ordinance. I
I can
specifically
print one.
asked,
Does anyone else need one?
'cause I had specifically asked him, did he get it? Christian, because Christian was the one putting the package together. I wonder if, I don't know if this is it, because I don't know, no, because it says my. Definitely just from last time. Is it on the back, maybe? No. I thought something looked weird about it to me. I was like, why am I, this doesn't seem like a, so is that in an email?
Okay, so that back.
You sent it to all of us.
Yeah,
I think
But we
you
just
got the
don't-
marked up copy. from
And it was
Mr.
introduced
Yeah,
on the
I have it.
13th of what?
but we just, we don't have it in our packet.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I don't have a copy.
I have a copy right here. Does anyone, do we
No,
need
no,
to?
no, electronic copy. Electronic.
You don't?
I have a paper copy that I
Can you
printed.
send it back to me?
Oh, can I send it back to you? Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Here it is. Okay. Okay, John, there it comes. It didn't ask if I needed to include the attachments. I'm hoping the attachment was automatically included.
Let me see if I can find those.
Yes, Mr. Barr sent it to all of us,
Yeah.
including Chief and Dan. No, I
not
printed it
packet,
out
just-
because I noticed right before I came up, Mr. Barr had sent it, so.
No, it's not I didn't get my packet.
I mean, we're not in the discussion. The good news is it's not materially different. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He hasn't made any content changes. It's mostly grammatical and he removed a few redundancies. Just some places where the language repeated itself unnecessarily. And then really the only, Mr. Barr, please, if I'm wrong, stop me. The only place where he's really asking for any additional text would be under the definition of decibel, which I have a suggested text or I can come up with a shorter version. Other than that, it's mostly syntactical stuff and clarification.
that it be resolved by the mayor and town council by Colmar Manor to proclaim and recognize June as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBTQ plus Pride Month in the town of Colmar Manor and the 10th day of June as the day to raise the pride flag in the town hall flagpole. So we have introduced it previously. If you would like to read it, Councilmember Bowles, you can reread it, or we can just vote or take a motion.
I think in the interest of time, we'll be reading it at the celebration on Thursday. So if it's all right with everybody, I would just go ahead and make the motion if that's all right.
Make the motion.
Thank you. And for everybody, again, I just want you to know that this is incredibly meaningful for those of us in the community. And your support and your collegiality is beyond my ability to express. The gratitude is deep, believe me. So with that, I move that the mayor and town council unanimously adopt resolution R5/2021, a resolution of the mayor and town council of Colmar Manor recognizing June as Pride Month in Colmar Manor, Maryland, and providing for the raising of the diversity flag on Thursday, June 10th at noon.
All right, is there a second?
Doesn't matter if you want the honors. Councilmember Harden will second that.
All right. And then is there any discussion? I just want to say thank you for putting this together. Appreciate it.
Second that. I
Thank you
wanted
for
to
your-
second that statement right there. Thank you for bringing this to us, honestly. You're giving an opportunity to our town to be more open, to be more diverse and more accepting of different cultures and personalities. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you, council member. And thank you to Cheverly, who gave me most of the text.
Indeed, that's how they say. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Absolutely.
So it's adopted today.
It will be adopted today with a vote. Ward
With-
1,
We've motioned.
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
All right, mayor votes aye. All right. Okay, so our next item of new business, I would love to, for us to pass it. I passed this out to you guys.
Does it have to be?
I would have sent it earlier. It's not very long, so if you want to read it. But I didn't get it. Okay, so I would appreciate, if we want to, somebody can read it. I can read it.
All right, you said I've done enough reading today. Mayor and Town Council of Colmar Manor, Resolution R, no number yet, 2021. A resolution of the Mayor and Town Council of Colmar Manor recognizing the contributions made by Lois Ann Blue to the town and calling for the renaming of Newton Street Park in her honor. Whereas Lois Ann Blue, since 1992, has over a period of 30 years given her time, energy, and understanding and fought for the participation in the good government of the town. Whereas Lois Ann Blue gave herself to the benefit of the citizens and residents of the town of Colmar Manor by her participation in local government. Whereas Lois Ann Blue is a graduate of Maryland Municipal League's Academy of Excellence. Whereas Lois Ann Blue was an organizer and/or longtime participant in Neighborhood Watch in the Colmar Manor Garden Club and Colmar Manor Recreation Council. And whereas the mayor and town council wish to salute, honor, and put claim to all the exceptional contributions to the Colmar Manor community by Lois Ann Blue. Now, therefore, we, the mayor and town council of Colmar Manor resolve that we hereby proclaim and declare that the Newton Street Park created for the benefit of the residents and children of the town to be now and forever recognized as Lois Ann Blue Park. And be it further resolved that the mayor of the town council in Colmar Manor make this recognition publicly at the next Colmar Manor Day celebration. And be it further resolved that the town makes a formal request to the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission to formally name the park in the 3800 block of Newton Street in Colmar Manor, the Lois Ann Blue Park, and authorize actions as are necessary for the completion of the goals recognized herein on behalf of the town. Introduced on the 8th day of June, 2021.
All right, is there a motion to introduce? We can introduce and adopt. Introduce and adopt this motion.
Councilmember Harden will make the motion as stated to introduce and adopt this resolution.
It's number 6.
Resolution number 6.
Thank
I gotta
you.
put this on the paper. I didn't see it there.
Is there a second?
Councilmember Bowles, Ward 3 enthusiastically seconds.
All right. Any discussion? I would like to.
I'm sorry.
Discussion. I want to offer my personal gratitude to Ms. Blue and the amount of years that she's put in and hanging in there years before any of us to just keep things going and keep Colmar Manor going. There were tougher times than now that had to be dealt with here in town, and she was around for all of that and hung in there. So I want to appreciate her. I want to appreciate her welcoming Councilmember Harding on board. And I just want to say that for the record, which means a lot to all of us.
Yes, Mr. Barr.
Mr. Barr.
Mayor, may I echo your statement?
Yes, sir.
Exactly, and to the every word. She was a wonderful, wonderful. she
Council
is,
person.
He is, yes.
And
Yes.
remains a wonderful, wonderful person. She was terrific as a member of this body. And I will forever think of her as someone who took the job by the horns, learned how to maneuver, learned how to get the things that she wanted and serve the town in just the most beautiful way.
Thank you for those words.
Thank
Much
you, Mr. Barr.
I
appreciated.
treasure the relationship I've had.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, I will call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
and the mayor votes aye. Thank you, guys.
So
unanimous will.
decision.
That's it. Well, and we'll do this again, Colmar Manor Day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Barr, you want to make sure we get signatures on that one.
Who was the seconder?
Doug Bowles, Ward 3.
Okay, so let me go run and find out what's happening, Mr. Baton. Do I?
He left.
He had enough of us.
I mean, I sent it to Doug before we came in here. I said, this is gonna be quick. There's no
Do
question.
we know how to do that?
Been practicing for the past couple of months in the budget.
You know, it's coming into fruition now.
You, Mr. Barr.
This is the updated.
And you're left-handed.
Pardon me?
And you're left-handed. I know I like you.
Really?
I see. Oh, Mr. Barr, you are a wealth of information. We are talking about being left-handed. You and me and Mr. Barr.
You can't tell me jokes like that.
I said,
because
you know,
I'm a dad joke kind of guy.
we know.
Thank you.
That's something I just want. Somebody started something.
I think my little.
That was
one
good, though. I
is-
will give you that.
is we push it and he's like, no,
He might be ambidextrous. He might be both. Right and left-handed.
he's always taking it to the left and yeah. Mhm.
They tried to change me, but my mother made him stop.
Oh,
Leave him alone.
Yeah. Oh, water, just ice water. Oh, Wait, look,
That's
wait,
at my house after the meeting.
Yeah.
don't say that.
You said
Like,
we're gonna have
okay.
some company?
That's my summer drink.
I can see us all on the porch.
It'll be a great night for it.
Listen,
Hey, we
problem
passed,
is if we're all on the porch, the public has
the
to be there.
resolution's been adopted. The resolution's been adopted. We gotta celebrate. Dusty.
And the next day.
Okay, sorry about that. Little delay there, but now we have our sound ordinance. And just to summarize,
Thank you, Dan, for getting that together.
I'm not sure if I did anything.
so for the specifically, just to summarize, because we've been through this so many times, but clear things that are changes. We are discussing noise disturbances. To be very clear as to what the now sound noise ordinance is. It's a noise ordinance about the noise. And to be specific, the hours of day for daytime is 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. And for the matter of noise as it relates to multiple things like car horns, dogs barking over a significant period of time, music blasting. There must be a complaint to the matter. And as a complaint, the issue as it relates is generally Monday through, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. And then at 11 p.m. on Friday night and Saturday night. Some specifics in this ordinance as it relates to the ice cream truck ending again at 9 p.m. And basically the disturbance within 20 feet of a person's property line and 10 feet from a car. So just to be clear, if you have your car blasting as you're driving down the street and everybody can hear it to the end of the block, it's too loud. And options are like roll your window up or turn the music down. And we ask for civility in the matter as opposed to a civility and consideration as opposed to the need for the disturbance. So your party shouldn't be heard 3 houses down from you. The fine set forth here is
For an individual, it starts, Mayor,
yes.
okay, for an individual, it would start at $100 and it would go up in increments of 50 to a maximum of 500. Keeping in mind that the first step is always a warning. So fines will not immediately be given until multiple complaints have come in.
And for businesses,
And for business, it would start at 250 and graduate up to 1,000.
all right. And it also stipulates in here that if there is multiple citations within a 6-month period of time, that property owners will be notified and can receive a citation as well with the 60 days notice of that violation.
Yes, ma'am. So as we discussed, that there would be a certified letter sent by the chief of police after 2 infractions for a warning to the owner so that you would not immediately be receiving a fine. You would receive a warning. Again, it's set up first for warnings, then fines. So the fine is the last resort.
Absolutely. And the first resort is to just turn it down. So those are the highlights of this ordinance. It's been long-standing, and at this point, I would take a motion for us to move this forward into the hands of our code and police to utilize.
Councilmember Harder will make the motion as stated.
Okay,
I just need to ask a procedural question
procedural.
because Mr. Barr has made no material changes, but he made changes since Friday. Do we need to vote that the ordinance would be accepted with Mr. Barr's
No,
changes? Okay, all right.
because this is what Mr. Barr sent. And what we introduced was not close to what we actually have here now. So everything that's been included in conversations prior to now and everything is now what's in here. So that includes his most recent changes. So that's good. We got Harding as a first.
I'll second it, Hobbs.
Second. Any discussion? About time.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Word
Word
3,
three.
aye. I'm sorry, word 3, aye.
Ward, Ward,
I'm getting tired.
Ward 4. Okay, the mayor votes aye. Thank you all very much, and let's do this again.
Does anyone have a clean copy of that?
For this,
Does anyone have a clean copy? That has the markups all over it, doesn't it?
no, you would have to pull the one that Mr. Barr did and then clear all the markup. But
Bring
no,
a clean
Do
copy.
you want Mr. Ball,
No, it should-
Councilmember Ball's excuse me, ordinance, or do you want my markup?
I think we should have a clean one to go in the ordinance book.
I think what the
but we
mayor,
have to have the markup so that we show them what's changed. We always have
Would
the
you like for me
markups.
to resend it to you tomorrow with Mr. Barr's markups included?
Well,
No,
that's what
this-
was just printed out.
I mean, the only thing is this, the only thing that's odd here is this right here where it says field change. But other than that, we always have the this. Because it shows us what changed from the original one.
I don't know, like on item 4 on the second page, it says, think you need a definition understood by the general public and physicists and audiologists, et cetera. What's that got to do with anything?
Where?
He's requesting a description of decibels, which the general public can understand. Which, again, I
Oh,
can,
that's what you mean when you say.
Well, that, and I
No,
mean, it's got your cross outs and everything. I mean, I'm fine in putting it in the book like this if you want.
so you don't have, okay, so are you looking at did you print out the one that he sent? So how come you didn't want it with this thing showing up? Because everything, I just print out the most recent one he sent and that's, and it has this on it.
Oh, this is done.
So this is different.
It's past my test.
Page 4 or 2? Item 4.
It's in your hands now, Chief.
Definition,
You
understood.
said it's in your hands now, Chief.
Is that what you added today, Mr. Barr?
what's great about it is it looks like a whole lot of words, but it's really simple.
Yeah.
It didn't belong.
Right.
So it's not like.
Just take this out.
It's detailed. notes.
But that's what, but he's saying is that the sheet, he wants to know.
It'll be a good time for it. We're so close to beating our time. limit. You guys realize that? We're so close to beating our time. limit. So close. It's not gonna happen.
9:30, it's like breakfast time.
Yeah, you know?
I'm so sorry. I hate to eat in meetings, but I'm fading out.
Or too long.
A delicious and delightful 7-Eleven meal.
Oh, yes, yes, sure.
Keep me from fainting.
You're really starving.
All right, I'll look around with the final minute.
Hi. Sure. Have some snacks, right? Like, I know, right?
I swear, I never know which pair of glasses I put on.
Snack.
Like something good. I say you just made me like something good. Like, this is actually- Yeah. No, I hate for my breath, but it tastes so good. Like I really don't want garlic breath right now, but it's like. It just tastes like a meal almost. Like you're like really good food. Yes. Well, you gave me something that's some very nice. No, you have the chocolate. Like that's my favorite thing so far. Yeah, like I need my own box. Like
Fluorescent lights after a while will start to make it feel like, you know what an ocular migraine, you know what an ocular migraine is? It's like you get a migraine and it's in your vision field. It's like you don't really get a headache. But fluorescence, even if there are LEDs like this, it's like after a while, I just start to kind of do that and then it starts to make me feel nauseated.
yes. Of what? Really? Awesome. I am, but you really have to buy a bowl. Like you. Oh, okay.
Dan, this is exactly what Mr. Barr sent us today?
Accepted. Oh. I guess I don't want more people over there. I see that, yeah, I just want to make sure. I know.
Seven pairs of glasses.
Yeah. Don't track the changes.
So this is without changes?
And that's all the changes that are incorporated in there, so things that got taken out don't show up.
Oh, I see. So you've just removed this, but everything he suggested is there.
Right, and what the mayor's saying is that things that were stricken. Things that were stricken in here.
Yeah, he deleted just words here and there, though. I'm like, he did delete one section.
Yeah, like those would not show up on this one. I mean, it's not supposed to be included in there. The mayor's saying well, it should show what's included and what's not.
Oh, I see. She's wanting to show it the old and the new way.
But
So
I'm
this is just an intact copy with his changes.
like, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I know what I'm signing.
Yeah. Right, I mean, this, take a look at one of the pages with changes and I took out the. Took out that.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I had a whole thing ready for that too.
Have you tried?
Redundant is gone.
There's this thing they have there. It's in the.
Oh, we left redundant. I see, I see. So you just turned it all black.
I mean, unwanted. Yes, I was, so those are new neighbors? They're new, yeah, like recently moved in as of this year.
Sorry, I'm slow. I always read everything I say.
It was more so like.
Make sure all changes.
Dan, you missed one page, which is the page I'm supposed to sign.
What page is missing, Doug?
The very last where my name and Councilmember Mendoza is.
Which page number?
Oh, no, I apologize. It's here. It was flipped over.
The one you need to sign.
It was folded over. I thought it had gone far away.
Danny, you found it.
It's here. I don't
You
think he
found
even heard what I said, actually.
Is there any way to make those changes?
Okay. This is what? The budget?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, don't look at that one.
Do you have a pen? Or is there, do you want me just to use mine? Does it
Yeah.
matter what color it is?
Is this good change? Where is it?
The adoption of the budget ordinance 06, 2021. So just as a summary, I'll go through and just from the introduction, just mention what things got changed from what we introduced when we introduced the budget for notification to people. The things that changed was we had American Relief Act reserve of $286,300 would be the total rather than the items that were there before. We anticipate a reserve from that money to be $313,700. Another change is rental income. On our original budget introduced, we were anticipating 50,000. Since then, we changed it. I mean, we were anticipating 70,000. Since then, we've changed it to 50,000. We were anticipating we would get $3,000 in donations. We changed that to expect $4,000 in donations. For accounting and auditing services, we recorded $8,500 rather than $9,000, which was originally documented. For our circuit writer, we changed it to $2,500 rather than $1,000, which was recorded. For the residential business support and family support, that is changed. It was 50,000, we changed to 135,000. And that would include helping residents, any of our own businesses, entrepreneurs, and for children care or child support. For our welcome signs, we added $6,000, which wasn't previously there. For code enforcement expenses, we added, we changed it to 3,000 from 1,000. And that is based on discussions of having more certified letters sent out in order to make code enforcement activities happen. For the streets and the sidewalk repairs, we changed it from $4,000 to $10,000. We added $1,000 for a lawnmower. We updated our trash receptacles to $10,000 from $4,000 to $10,000 for trash receptacles. We added a dog picker.
Dog picker?
I'm sorry.
Now she's getting
Oh
tired.
my gosh, yes. I'm looking at two things, the dog waste station and the pickers is right next to each other. Woo, woo.
Oh, dear.
Trash picker for $15,600. And we removed anything for the lawn maintenance.
We changed that to 1,000 for lawnmower instead.
Oh, okay, we did lawn mower for $1,000 rather than the lawn maintenance. And we changed our rec council holiday events budget from $5,000 to $10,000. So we will still maintain a $313,700 reserve from COVID, and then a $705,000 reserve from our regular reserves the year end. Bottom line, the ordinance for us to actually vote on is, this is ordinance number 06, annual budget and levy, an ordinance of the Maryland the mayor and town council of Colmar Manor, Maryland, to establish a budget and levy for the town of Colmar Manor for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, and fully ending June 30th, 2022. It's a whole bunch of things in there about the sections of the ANA code that allows us to do it and everything. But the attachment, which speaks to ours, this was introduced on April 13th of 2021. And pursuant to the powers and authority vested in the mayor and town council by the local government volumes of West Onotic Code of Maryland and section 609 of the charter of the town of Colmar Manor, the rate of tax to be levied on real and personal property subject to taxation within the town shall be, and the same is hereby established for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, and fully ending June 30th, 2022, would be, number one, residential real property. That will be 0.9235 cents per $100 of assessed value. The commercial rate and industrial real property will be $0.8636 per $100 of assessed value. And the business personal property will be $1.35 per $100 of assessed value. I will note these rates are lower than the rates that we previously had in the previous year. However, the tax is the same. So based on the tax yield, the tax amount received will be the same. However, the rates are lower to absorb the assessment increases in town. And so with that, and all of the work that we've done on putting together this budget, is there a motion for us to accept our annual budget and levy?
Mayor, would be to adopt.
To adopt our annual budget and levy.
To discuss it, we have to make the motion.
Mhm.
Councilmember Mendoza, I make a motion to adopt our annual budget and levy for 2021 to 2022.
Is there a second?
Yeah, we are. I'll second that for discussion purposes.
All right. Just a second.
Is it better? Okay. Okay.
All right.
So are these the same things we're talking about that pertain the audit and the check signers? The resolution, again, I'm gonna just repeat. So the resolution from looking at the notes on March 9th, we had a discussion in February regarding financial controls and internal audits. We did not adopt the resolution. It was the motion to table it for further discussion. So currently under section 2 and 3, it seems like we are addressing the same issues, but we're now trying to pass it as an ordinance. So I am, if I'm confused, please help explain to me, are these two different things, and or somehow the ordinance, the resolution became an ordinance pertaining the same issue on audit committee that we talked about previously and on the check signers committee.
So this ordinance, this is an ordinance specifically for our budget and levy taxes, the budget and the levy of taxes. The statements that you see in the document are as they read in our, currently in our charter. We didn't make the changes that you're talking about, that we talked about making changes. We didn't make them as of yet. We basically tabled that to a later time. So this reads as it does there. And that's all you're reading is what it already is. And so this is not, that's not what we're passing. That's already what is in the charter. What we're really passing is what's in this exhibit 1.
Right, so we always, Mayor, just to clarify, section 2 and section 3 has to be included each time we pass the budget.
Until we change it, yes. Am I right?
Well, if you don't put it in here, then the provisions of the charter, which the charter spells out who the designated authority, authorized signers are and the audit committee is, which I'm not a signer by the charter, but by the charter, you could designate me as a signer if you so wish, which is what this does and which we decided about 10 years ago was the procedure that we were following. So that resolution that you had from March, that was going to change that wording, but then we got into all kinds of discussions of how we wanted to do it, and we never got back to it. So it falls back to the original charter, and I don't know if John has a copy of the charter with him, but the charter, I think, says the mayor and.
It falls back to the original, to the code first, and then to the charter. The code specifically says who's supposed to sign. And I believe, reading this without a copy of the code in front of me, that section 2 of ordinance number 62021 and section 3 are what the code currently calls.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Okay. So this is where, this was our discussion about,
Yeah, the main issue.
oh, I remember now. This is the discussion where it's either EF or HI, right?
Yes.
And in H and I, we're delegating to the clerk treasurer and someone else.
So do we need to go back onto the resolution regarding the financial controls and internal audits and revise it? And then based on that revision, we'll be changing the ordinance.
What did you want to change in the ordinance?
I feel like it's contradicting to what we discussed in the financial controls.
I thought, and I might be wrong, but I thought what we were trying to change, at least in my mind, what I was trying to change was that the way that the wording was in the charter indicated that the clerk treasurer could be the auditor of the records.
But here in this instance, he's both.
It doesn't speak, does it speak of the audit authority on all town instruments? Oh, it does have it, yeah.
The way I read this, it looks like we are delegating to the mayor and the clerk treasurer in both sections, I think.
It was designated by the mayor.
It says we grant signature authority to the mayor
Mhm.
or such other member of the town council as shall be designated by the mayor
Right.
and to the clerk treasurer. So rather than retaining
I don't
what
think.
the original,
I don't think
we're
we had-
delegating. So what's the reason for the delegation, I guess is the big question, because we talked about this a
Oh.
little bit back in February. Is it just
The
ease
rest
of signing and
Because the charter does not allow me to sign unless you do so in the budget ordinance. That's really the major decision that you're making by including that in this budget ordinance. Because the ordinance or the code as currently written, I believe, says the mayor and a council member
No,
serves in both of them.
I actually think this reads exactly as it reads in the charter.
E and F, the first two sections, the withdrawal committee shall consist of 2 members of the town council appointed by the mayor.
Sorry.
Audit committee the same.
Both has it. I don't
This is the code, yeah. So this is the original or the first two sections.
Right.
This says the withdrawal committee is 2 members of the council appointed by the mayor. The audit committee is 2 members of the council appointed by the mayor. Then here in H and I is where
Right.
we had into the discussion about notwithstanding and we pass it on. So this is what provides for the delegation from the council to looks like to you and the mayor. So
I think this just adds to the end.
clerk treasurer shall provide a monthly report. This is what's in, this is what's in what we're signing.
Delegate such authority annually to the clerk treasurer for all checks and instruments of withdrawal.
Well, I guess the question is, do we have to do that?
Well, right now.
Or can we
Right
just,
now, I think you have to do that. You have no other mechanism that's adopted. Right, so you
so
have to
it
go
doesn't
by the
fall
old-
back to here?
You have to go by the old rules.
This is the old rules.
These are the old.
The old rules, if they don't do it, if they don't include those 2 sections, they,
These are
Where-
the old
two members of
rules.
the town council appointed by the mayor. are
Right.
going to sign checks, and 2 members of the town council approved by the mayor are going to be on the audit committee.
Right. And the way this reads, we delegate the mayor to make the decision and you, and then the mayor to make the decision and you.
Right, and here it's the mayor and the mayor, so you're
Right.
still keeping the mayor.
Well, I mean,
and
you're not
here
making any decision here. You're just being assigned.
I'm being assigned.
Yeah.
right?
So here, so it looks like the mayor and the clerk treasurer in both sections are being assigned signing and auditing.
This should come out. This one, I shouldn't be here.
So you shouldn't be on an audit committee.
Right.
So
Do you like
then,
these things?
well, could I,
Oh, no, I don't
could we
share
do
with
it so
them.
that the mayor is a signer, but like the
Especially
mayor
the
is an
girls, they will eat
auditor
it
but
up.
not a signer, and Mr. Baden would be a signer but not an auditor, and then that would, this is that it's possible for us to do this, but it doesn't say it's required.
Where are you guys looking in the book? Because I don't know.
On the code, ma'am, we're on page 5 and
Oh, you're
6.
in the code, not
Yes,
the,
ma'am.
not the charter.
On the
No,
code,
right, 'cause
yeah.
This is what currently stands, because that didn't pass.
Yeah, we're looking at E and F and then H and I. So H and I suggests that we could do this.
Right,
But
and
this
what we
way-
did over 10 years ago is we
Yeah, did it
gave, you always gave the authority to me and one of the council members to be a signer. I agree that I should come out of here because I shouldn't see, no one should be federal.
But then here the mayor is both in both cases.
No, the mayor does, yeah. Here it says the mayor could designate.
Right.
It's not well worded. but the Wording is what has been done in past years.
Right. But that doesn't mean we can't change it.
No, it doesn't.
These 2 sections only allow you to delegate me. Correct?
No, the mayor and town council
Yeah, you
Delegate.
delegate annually to the clerk treasurer.
treasurer.
That's authorized by the mayor. That's it. Doesn't say they have the authority to give it
And
to the
such
mayor.
amounts as authorized. So
By the mayor and town
you gotta,
council.
you gotta read it as a comprehensive.
Mhm.
Instruments of withdrawal on behalf of the town. The mayor and town council delegate annual authority annually to the clerk treasurer for all instruments and withdrawals and amounts as authorized by the mayor and town council. Budget.
Excuse me.
The clerk treasurer shall provide a monthly report on all checks and instruments of withdrawal to the mayor and town council. The mayor may be an alternate signer if the clerk treasurer is not available.
Right.
It's 14 vacations.
Are you following this, council member? Okay.
Notwithstanding the foregoing provisions relative to the auditing of checks and other instruments of withdrawal on behalf of the town, the mayor and town council may, not shall, may delegate such authority annually to the clerk treasurer for all checks and instruments of withdrawal. The clerk treasurer shall provide a monthly report on all such audits to the mayor and town council. So you're in effect keeping what you've had here for close to 20 years. And originally was adopted because there was a problem.
Point of order, If I can just articulate, rather than the language itself, I mean, the question on the table as I hear it is that the mayor and the clerk treasurer are both assigned to be check writers and auditors, which should never be both. So we know that we want the clerk treasurer to be a signer. I think we don't have a problem with that. The clerk treasurer should not be under audit. Period. That's what we were trying to change before, when we didn't quite get there. And so,
I'm not in my head real quick.
right. So the question, I think, on table, and Councilmember Hobbs, thanks for catching that, because it was a part of a previous conversation, but I can see now, particularly this audit thing. And I don't know why we would need to put that on here.
Because I don't have any signature authority.
Not signature, I'm talking about the audit part.
I agree with that.
Okay, so that should come out. This should come out. So now that we're dealing with Councilmember Bowles' question, which is where the mayor also is being authorized to be both, which could.
Seems like a conflict of interest. And I'm
And
not,
you
I'm
would
not,
not-
I'm
and-
not saying anything about you. I'm saying the mayor's position.
Right.
Would be a signer and an
Which
auditor.
is something that we've never done before. We've never had the mayor be the signer and the auditor, as far as I know. But the language is saying that it could happen.
I'm wondering, I guess, Mayor, is it possible that we could create an ordinance that we've got 2 auditors and 2 signers on the council? You're an auditor and he's a signer. And then it would be split with all 6 of us having.
I think
roles.
that we just need to say in here, because I don't see what us writing this the way another mayor might. Most mayors sign. My not signing is a choice. Most mayors do sign. So I wouldn't want to write something that sort of like just changes that for somebody else. But we can say
Neither one of these gives a
where one
mayor
is not the other.
Correct. The mayor's appointing.
We can
the
say that. We
clerk
can
to
say
sign.
the mayor can be a
Right.
signer, the mayor.
And then you could add me on
Okay, wait a minute.
as a signer or audit.
Well, or my suggestion, which was that way everybody's got a role and it's evenly split, and then there's no question, even if,
Here it says the mayor may be an alternate signer, the clerk treasurer is not.
Right, it
available. So
provides for
designate
both.
me, and that's the only time that she can sign.
if you're not available.
Right. I think fine as written, the only thing you change is.
To take off the clerk treasurer.
Take clerk treasurer off on here.
Yeah, and then you also take out the mayor or such a member, because this is already given. It's not the mayor. The mayor has no authority unless you're giving it to her here.
Right. So so then everybody would have a
Here-
role, right?
Here would just be the signature authority on town instruments of withdrawal to the clerk treasurer.
But for the signatures, the town code to the mayor and such other member of the town council as shall be designated by the mayor, which is exactly what we've done.
Are you taking yourself out as a
Huh?
check signer or as a?
I don't see you have to take the mayor out of either one of them. I don't
Okay.
sign checks. And I designate who sign checks.
So you're giving
Okay.
you authority.
But
to
that's
sign
me.
checks.
But this gives you that authority.
Yes, to designate the
So-
signers.
It gives you authority. to
Well, it gives
sign.
me to sign it too, but
So if you don't want to sign it, then all we have to do is give you the authority to decide who does. And then we don't have any kind of conflict of interest.
But she already has that authority under F before.
Right.
She's already got the authority here to do that.
Well,
The
here,
authority as currently written gives her the authority to sign 2 check signers, two to the audit committee.
right.
2 audit committee, 2 check signers. That's the authority you have. That's it. Unless you invoke section H, which then adds me on
as a signer and or as an auditor. You don't need me as an auditor. So the only thing you do is have me as a signer, and that's it.
Right now, on the council, we've got 3 check signers. I'm an alternate and 1 auditor. So, right, mayors. But I mean, on the body council, not the mayor, but I'm just looking at the language here, which says the mayor shall assign 2 members of the council, the mayor shall assign 2 members of the council. And then
Let's
here,
do something else, which allows us here to do one of these. You don't have to-
Okay, so I think what will make it simple, this is our ordinance for this year. We know I'm not signing checks. So if this said, if we take out, so the mayor and town council hereby grant signature authority on all town instruments of withdrawal pursuant to section 1.30 of the town code to such 2 members of the town council as shall be designated by the mayor and to the clerk treasurer.
Such 2 members of the, such 2 members of the town council
Yes,
that shall be designated by the mayor and to the clerk treasurer.
yes. And then we take clerk treasurer off of the last, at the bottom of
And
the
then remove clerk
section 3,
treasurer.
from section 3.
Right.
Here too,
so then under the audit, it would be the same.
the mayor and such other members of the town council.
Instead, so, or, we switch the or to and,
Mhm.
to the mayor and such other members. Okay. That seems more egalitarian. That gives everybody a role and
Mhm.
With that said, do we want to put the discussion for the resolution of financial controls and audits?
Yeah, let's get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah. Mhm. Right back. So there was a motion by Mendoza
To adopt it.
and a second by Harding.
So I need to see about it now, changing it.
Yes. So I would ask Mendoza if she'll accept the changes being that in section 2, mayor as a signer is removed. And in section 3, mayor and such other members of the town council rather than or, and that the clerk treasurer is no longer authorized to be a part of the audit committee at all. Those are the 3 changes. Do you accept those changes to your motion?
what was the language under 2 again? It was of the town code to the members of the,
Two
Two members.
of the
two
town
members
council
of
as
the
shall be
town
assigned.
council as should be
Okay,
designated
I
by the
understand.
mayor.
Thank you.
So I would like to pull back my motion.
Or you just amend it.
Okay, I would like to amend my motion with the changes that
Have been
were
stated.
just been said.
All right, Councilmember Harding, do you accept those changes? That
Councilmember,
amendment?
yes, I accept the changes to the motion.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Thank
You said that was a full blown out one,
I think we
huh?
Well, I mean, one thing to say about being new is sometimes we look at this stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
we just get used to it.
Yeah.
And so having a new set of eyes gives you another vision of what you're seeing.
Hey,
So
man.
it's all good.
I got my new glasses on.
Yeah.
They are stylish.
I'm gonna
They
call
are.
for-
They look good.
I would call for a vote, Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
I,
Ward 4,
Aye.
and the mayor votes aye. Thank you. Our budget season is over.
Yay, you
Woo. All right. Okay, so pretty much That leaves only the one item is the treasurer's report for the month of, the month ending May 31st, 2021. Mr. Baton, do you want to give us a report?
If anyone's had a chance to look at it, I would just ask if anyone has any questions on it.
Where is it? Oh my God, there's so much paper. Treasurer's report, treasurer's report.
We made some budget adjustments last month. Those are reflected in here. So I don't think there's any items that are showing as over budget at this point. We have one more month left in the fiscal year, the month of June. We've talked about where we're going to end up the fiscal year, which I don't think has changed drastically. Unless anyone has any questions, I would ask you to accept it as presented.
So the revenue, so our primary revenue reduction is the hall rentals. You guys were on the tape. The hall rental and the red light cameras, right?
Major ones that are under budget, yes, and the daily bazaar.
And what?
Daily bazaar.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. And our normal percentage for this time would be what?
11/12.
11/12.
$91.
91%. So there's no department that's outside of budget. All right, is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Councilmember Harden will make that motion as stated.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay, any discussion? So, Mr. Baton, I just want to remind you, if you could, after we have the audit, that our 2021 budget in this format is updated.
For the new budget.
No,
What you mean?
the FY 21. After we do the audit, after we do the audit, we generally don't see what the new reserve is. We only know it from next month.
Yeah,
June.
usually, yeah.
So
we
if we
update
could
it.
get this, after the audit is done, get this format of the FY 21, including any adjustments from the audit on the record. I'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Okay, treasurer's report is done. And is there anybody who needs to offer anything for the good of the body?
I just want to say, I think we got a lot done tonight.
I think we got a lot done. I think we got a lot of things clarified.
It's been a good night. And a good process. I know it's taken us a really long time, but I just really appreciate all the extra input from the more experienced members of the panel, because it's so helpful.
I'm so proud of it. You don't even know.
Indeed. And we actually signed
With signs, stuff.
our stuff. Okay, and so we're all going to Ocean City in the next couple of weeks. I hope you all learn get that opportunity. It's a really great opportunity to learn.
How many ways do y'all spell my name? It's like the third way I've seen it spelled.
Oh, what, Malik?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see. God decided. Oh, just for the.
And I'm glad that we're all able to go. So,
Yeah, I did. No, I'm kidding. Malik, it means master. in, Swahili.
Oh, Swahili? Cool. That means master?
I know it's such a weird, yeah.
what does
Okay.
it mean? What?
Master or king.
Master King.
Okay. That's right.
So
No,
I
learned
am,
it.
I am Queen Mike.
Really?
Yeah.
And this will have the new wording, I see.
No, mine is Arabic.
Like, I knew it was something.
I signed it, Gina Lola Bridget. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I could.
Listen, I'm not understated.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, I accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Councilmember Harder will make the motion as stated.
There's a second.
Councilmember Bowles will second.
Okay, let's note it on the record. It's 10:20. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Please no. Hit that gavel, Mayor.
You set a new record.
Hey, and guys, we just got, so we're gonna have a lot of electeds here on Thursday, which is really